Who's in the air?
Good morning.
How are we, mate?
All is good. Do you know what? It's even better. I thought we could go fifth tonight.
Big, mate, isn't it? Big.
We've been here before. I've just tweeted, funny enough. We've been here before, haven't we, a couple of seasons ago. Win, we can go fifth and bottled it. Do you know what? I reckon it's different now, though. I reckon there's a bit more belief, maybe one word. Definitely more organisation now. And I ain't convinced we're. I'm not convinced we'll get beat tonight. I reckon we've got every chance of going fifth.
Usually, mate, it would be a draw.
Nosebleeds.
Because I cannot remember any other time than going to Upton Park and seeing the worst game ever versus Villa and getting a draw every time. It always used to be an awful occasion, mate. Villa used to be the least atmosphere, the most boring games, always a 0-0 draw. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we've sort of turned that corner, mate. And don't know, Villa are one of them ones where they blow hot and cold. They had a very cold one last week, so in that they're not going to have a hot one this week, mate. But I think we got too much for them, didn't you?
I'd like to think so. I think they'll miss Barkley big time. I do. I think they're a different side with him in the team, and them losing him early last week against Brighton, I think that plays a key. You mentioned the draw. We drew both games last year, didn't we? 0-0 and 1-1. But yeah, I do think we'll have enough. I think we'll be well organised again at the back and won't be easy to break down. It's just the other end, isn't it? And without Antonio, keep playing the same way. I don't dislike Haller, and I've made this clear before, and I feel for him that because I think we play to Antonio's strengths with him rather than to his strengths with him. And that's the only issue is how many we can score. I don't think they're brilliant defensively. I don't think they're bad, but I don't think they're brilliant. I think we've got every case tonight of winning. But we got to be pretty confident at the moment as well. You know, a 1-0 win last week up at Sheffield United, that ain't an easy place. I know they're not having a good season, but I think we're the first London club in 11 years to win there. So our towers will be up. And mate, I think we'll win tonight. The only thing I will say tonight is I think we're going to see Corfowl get booked. That's going to be, if I have a bet tonight, that'll be my only bet, him to get booked tonight. I can see that happening.
Yeah, mate, I'm looking forward to it again. I'm looking forward to every game that comes up with us at the moment, which is nice to say because it ain't been like that for a while. So every game I look forward to. Shame it's a Monday at 8 o'clock. It would have been nice for it to be on the weekend. We was due a 3 o'clock game against United, and obviously now that's been changed. Not too bad, but you know, it's I don't know. I just want football on a Saturday afternoon again, mate, because that's when I enjoy it the most. But anyway, we roll on to tonight, and yeah, I do.
But it'd be nice. Go on. Sorry.
It's just nice to feel confident that you've got enough about you. Like I say, I used to believe we could go anywhere and win. Whether we went to Old Trafford, whether we went to Stamford Bridge, whatever. I always felt we could go and turn up and get a result, and we're starting to feel like that again. And it's nice to feel that way. Okay, there are still a few considerations for me, and we'll move on to that. What changes we think will be made? I think in the last game against Sheffield United, while we come through it and Haller got the goal, I don't think we looked that threatening, to be quite honest. So, you know, we nicked the goal and that's great. But tonight you're at home. One of the things that I did really like to hear was Moyes in his interview recently, when he turned around and said, look, you know, anyone who thinks we haven't got a plan B is wrong. You know, at points I do want to see Haller and Antonio up front together, which was great to hear. Whether he'll do it or not, I don't know. But he was insistent that, you know, it's not always going to be one or the other. At times, we will play both. You know, at home against Villa, that is a time you would expect it to happen. I know it's probably going to come too early for Antonio, but it's nice to think that, you know, that will happen at some point. And, yeah, he said, you know, if people start to work out what we're doing, then he has got another plan. At the moment, it's working, so why change it? But, you know, for me, I think that the change that I would be looking at making, and it may not be a popular one because of his work rate, but Fornals, for me, mate, is someone who could quite easily be hoiked out of there, and Ben Rama or someone like that could be pushed in.
Yeah, I think someone like him would be key tonight because of his pace. But having said that, when I look back to Aston Villa's performance at Arsenal, when they beat them there, that performance was all based on what we base ours on, work rate, etc. And for that reason, I would probably keep Fornals because you're going to get work out of him. We don't know what we're getting out of Ben Rama. We do going forward with what you've seen, but we don't know what protection he's going to be given, the wing back and defender. We know what we're getting with Fornals, and we will need that work rate against Villa. Villa ain't based on ability their results they've had and how well they've done. That's based on grit and hard work and determination, and that's what we've got to match. I just want to quickly say while they're on it, Kieran, can you DM us your address, mate? Because we've got your prize. All prizes are being sent out. I'm just literally waiting for yours, mate, and then I can get everything sent this morning. Once you've sent it, I can get it posted off to you.
We're going up in the world, mate, as well. Look, we've got a future legend in here. Super
Casey's in. And I've got to say, I'll see you come in, and I wanted to put a message out. Casey, captain of the Luton Youth, who take on West Ham Youth this week in the FA Youth Cup. Obviously, West Ham released Casey, wouldn't he? Come on earlier on in the year on the show, and West Ham released Casey, and Casey's now at Luton captaining them, and big game for him this week. And I wish you all the very best, mate. You and Luton are match against us, but personally, I wish you all the best. I hope you stand out, and West Ham look and kick himself and think, oops, we let a good one go here.
Definitely, mate.
But yeah, so I was going to say earlier that the nice thing, I don't like these Monday games. I don't like it. I'm the same as you. I love 3 o'clock on a Saturday football. But what a nice way it would be to end the weekend if we win tonight and finish knowing we can't be moved off of 5th place for a week.
Yeah, no,
that'd be a nice positive from the Monday. It's the only thing I'll take out of a Monday night game if we win. If we lose, I'm going to have the ump.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like I said, it's one of them ones where the expectations are high at the moment, mate. We're playing well. You're gonna want to get that win. Before, maybe we wouldn't have had that expectation, but we have got that expectation now. Kent's just put, morning lads, we must start with Ben Rama or Lanzini, because carry the ball, we must break Villa lines. Watkins is the danger tonight. He is. Kent's loved Watkins for a long time. And while he's got a bit of pace and everything else, mate, I expect our defence to deal with him. And I also expect our midfield to be able to cope with the likes of Grealish, mate, and I really do. So on that basis, mate, I think we've got enough. It's just whether we can score. I don't think it'll be a high goal game. I think it'll be, a 1-0 either way. But I think we'll be the team to get it, mate. I really do. And
yeah, I think Kent's right. I do. I don't say he's wrong with what he's saying about getting in between the lines. But as I say, for me, it's about work rate tonight. And that's what it's going to... Same as Sheffield United. That ain't the game you're going to go and win playing or be pretty. We ain't that good to play pretty. And that's no disrespect to any of the players. But we ain't the side that play attractive football week in, week out. We grind out results through hard work and watching players. And this is what we always want as fans, is watch them walk off that pitch knowing they've given a job and done their job. And I honestly believe tonight it's going to be that. I don't say Ben Rama or Lanzini wouldn't do what you're saying, Kent. I do agree with you. But I ain't convinced they're going to give you the backup and the work rate that Fornals does. That's my only...
I agree with, and I do agree with you, mate. But I just feel like tonight, I think you have got to score. I think you need that bit of creativity. And Fornals ain't been showing that for me. And I know he works hard. I know he runs, but because he's quite lightweight and because he's not the biggest player, mate. Sometimes, even when he's running, the game goes by him. Sometimes he runs around like an headless chicken for me. I see him sort of trying to track back and he don't quite get there. And then he sort of tries to go forward and he don't quite get there. And one thing he's not doing, which is really annoying me with him, and I don't know why he's turned like this, but he don't play forward anymore. He plays so backwards. There was a time in the game against Sheffield United where there was already a player out wide on the left. And I thought, run behind the defence and run into that space and get the ball. And he ran backwards. And the player looked at him as if to say, where are you going? Why are you going back there? And for that reason, mate, I think, while if you had Antonio tonight, I think you play 4-0 because I think then that his work rate, Antonio does the hold-up play, he creates shit for himself. Without that, and with Haller, I think Haller needs a bit more service. I think he needs more balls into him. I think he needs someone closer to him. And on that basis, I think Benrahma would be the man to do that. But, mate, we're not even seeing Benrahma get close at the moment. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I will come to that. But I agree with what you've just said there. And I do think he needs players close to him. 100% I do. But that's the manager's decision is what he's doing there. Why it's not like that. That's not Fornals' fault. That's the only thing I'll say.
I don't think he's got it to get there. That's the problem. I think he's just a little bit slow, mate. I think it's his pace that lets him down.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, but his pace don't let him down when you're playing with Antonio. So, and this is my point. The manager, and you and I know, our system is the same. It's just the difference with Haller and Antonio. So the instructions will be the same to every player, every week. And that's where I think he can, where it's catching him out. But he still offers you that work rate, in my opinion. But why don't I think he's featured? I don't know. Is it because it was a David Sullivan signing and not a David Moyes signing? I don't know. And on the flip side of that, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I think that's more to do with it, mate.
I do, yeah. I do think that's more.
Staying with what's working, and that's fine. I can.
Yeah, and I think that's the answer more than anything. I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and that's why I think it's been a like for like with Haller for Antonio, and not a change of game plan, not a change of system, formation, etc. Just do the same, boys, but you two are swapping roles. It's just personnel change, and that's why I think the game is missing for now a little bit with like the balls through the defence, like you said, through their lines. Because with Antonio, he's already there. Haller's not, so he has to hold up. Instead of Moyes saying, look, we ain't going to get what we get out of Antonio, out of Haller, lads. This is his strengths. This is what we've got to play to. Just do the same. So when the players are going forward and looking up and he ain't there. And I think that's why we've seen Jarrod Bowen be extra greedy of late too.
Mate,
and I do think
there were chances last week where he's got to square the ball to Haller.
I agree, mate. I agree. I agree with you.
Mate, he was too greedy last week.
I do agree with you.
Do you know what? I don't mind people being greedy. I don't mind people wanting goals. Actually, I want people to be selfish and want goals. I want that. But not when there's a guy a couple of yards away from you in acres of space to tap the ball into the net and you selfishly take that shot yourself, mate. Bowen, mate, I'm a big fan of Bowen. He's another one who works really hard, but he's got to get his head up at times and stop doing that now. And
one of them chances would have been for Haller. Yeah, and if he hadn't scored his goal, but scored and never got that a chance either. No, all of a sudden, people would have been screaming at Haller again last week.
Yeah.
Not a Bowen for not squaring it, but remember, let's go back to the World Cup. Everyone was calling Harry Kane everything under the sun for not squaring at that time when he could have to Raheem Sterling.
Yeah.
But listen, it's positive. We're in a good position. We're closer to the top than we are the bottom. A win tonight will take us fifth, ending the weekend. That ain't a bad way. I don't think we'll get rolled over. I think if we get beaten tonight, it ain't going to be a 3 or 4-0. It might be by the odd goal. I don't think it'll be more than one goal if we lose tonight. And I ain't sure we're going to get beaten, if I'm honest. I think we'll definitely get something out of this game.
Yeah, agreed. Chris, morning, mate. How are you? Long time. Need to catch up, mate. I think we're doing something next month. So yeah.
And also, happy birthday to his boy.
Yeah, his picture there was from the Beano down to Yarmouth. What a day that was. Could do with another one of them right now, mate. I guess you're not in tier 3, but I still am. So anyway, way that I can escape to tier 2, mate, would be welcomed. Here's an interesting one.
Come live with me. Come and live with me. I'm in tier 2.
Mate, I couldn't live down that third world. There's nothing down there for
me.
We're
right. Mate, we're in tier 2. We've got 3G, and we've got 4G yet, and you've got something about 5G.
You got some cows. That's about it. Andy said the battle will also be on our left, stopping Cash running down the wing. Interesting, that one, because people haven't been targeting our left because our left is looking okay. But we have seen in the past couple of games teams specifically target down our right-hand side. Mate, teams are seeing Kufal and down that side, they're seeing that as our weak spot. Can you understand that? And, you know, is that, are they right to do that?
I do think that, and I've said this before, and touching on Andy's comment there, stopping Cash, putting down the wing, putting balls in the box now left. That's why we need 4 nows, because you'll get the work rate out of him tracking back on that side. In my opinion, I think it's noted that people have been attacking us more down our right, and again, it's no. I'm not slagging him off. I think he's been a great signing. I said this after a couple of games. Corfow's looked slower than what I originally thought he was. His game at Leicester, his debut, was perfection. I thought
is it slow, or is it that he comes so far out of position?
Maybe both.
He has a lot of work to catch it back up.
Yeah, maybe it's
there were little bursts of pace I saw in the last game that I thought, oh, he has got a bit of speed there. But I think sometimes he's so far forward, and teams are purposely getting him behind now that he's got so much to catch up. He can't quite get there.
And the problem with it, and Rob's just put it on here, behind him on the inside is Balbrainer, who isn't the fastest either. And for that reason, you've always got a bit of a space because it ain't closed quick enough. So maybe it's not his pace. Maybe I'm comparing him to Ryan Fredericks because that's what we used to see in their pace. Ability-wise, I think Corfow's the better player. But because he doesn't have that, to get forward and back and play that wing back, you have to have the pace, in my opinion, especially if you're always going to get forward. That's why it works at Liverpool. You know, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson are only as good as they are because of their pace, because they get up and down that pitch and they're always back covering after run forward. And what's behind them? We ain't got that. And I've said before, the way we play, we could afford to drop in some games Surchek or Rice and go a bit more adventurous, because that one person then has to sit in front of your 3 defenders and in between your wing backs and always fill them holes. Then I don't think you'd be exposing someone like Corfow's pace. But I do think sides have targeted that. I think it's been clear to see. If I'm honest, I think Sheffield United come a little bit at us down our left last week, but I thought they soon worked out Cresswell and Masuaku were pretty solid there, to be fair, with Rice inside them and obviously Cresswell inside Masuaku, a bit quicker than Balbrainer.
I think Ben's just said there, he said they've stitched a pocket in Kufal shorts for Grealish tonight. To be fair, I think it's one where, you know, Grealish ain't the fastest, mate, so Kufal should be able to deal with him. I expect him to deal with him tonight. Yeah,
he should, you're right. He's very clever, Jack Grealish. He knows how to win free kicks.
No, I know he is, mate. But if you can get in,
mate, he draws in fouls. And as I'm saying, with Corfal, we've seen it. He loves a challenge. He's not afraid to. He don't shy away. One early booking, and if he's clever, that's where you could be in trouble. And that's why I said it at the start of the show, mate. If I'm going to have a bet tonight, that would be it, because of them reasons. I think Jack Grealish is clever. I think Jack Grealish dives a lot, or maybe not dives, but goes down very, very easy.
Yeah,
and lightweight, but he does draw in a foul. And I said it earlier, and Toby's just said it then. Ross Barkley will be a massive miss for them. I agree with that.
Before we move on, mate, I just want to touch upon Saturday afternoon, because I had a blinding time on Away Day Radio. The radio station's going from strength to strength. You can download the app on Android, Away Day Radio. It's not available on Apple yet, but you can download services that will play that radio station, or you can go on awaydayradio.co.uk and listen to it just via their website. Really, really enjoy it, mate. It's proper football talk. They have some great guests on there, some old Terrace legends, and the music they play is proper old school, mate. Give me that radio station over some of the rubbish that you listen to on the normal radio any day of the week. And, mate, we had a 2-hour slot there from 12 till 2, and I enjoyed every second of it. And that will be an ongoing thing, so everyone can get over there on a Saturday afternoon, 12 till 2, and listen to us not just talk about West Ham, but break down the whole of the Premier League, which was a lot of fun, mate.
Yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it, and it was good, like you just said then, talking about other clubs, you know, and and not having a selfish and biased opinion. You could talk openly about the game. You know what I mean? And I think I said in the thing yesterday, on Saturday, sorry, I mentioned James Ward-Prowse and his set pieces. You know, Saints scored from his set piece and from his corner. So it's nice to be able to know. I think I slagged Man United off. We come back and won 3-2. So next week, I hope there's Man United fans on there giving it to me, because we're also playing them, I believe, aren't we? And hopefully it will lead into a good debate. And it's good that people can call in, tell us how they feel. We had the Palace fan call us up talking about how he felt they were under Roy Hodgson and getting stale, and he felt they needed a change, especially after their defeat. It was good, and I really enjoyed, as I say, talking about the whole of football, really, and not just West Ham and everything getting twisted about the club you support.
Yeah, and it made for a bit more of a light-hearted chat, mate, when you're not as passionate about something and you're talking about the Premier League in general. We actually didn't touch upon West Ham hardly at all. We left that to for here, and this is where we'll always have our West Ham chat, but we spoke about everything else, mate, and it was nice to just be a little bit more light-hearted about everything and a bit more generalist. It was nice. And then you touched upon the Man United fans there, mate. I watched the watch-along with Man United yesterday just because I was doing something on the computer, so I couldn't really pay too much attention to the game. So I thought I'd listen into the Man United watch-alongs and listen to them giving updates on the game. And, mate, it's so funny. I love it. Absolutely love it, because every single one of them, they were like, you know, we've got away with it today, we got a result today, and we'll get a result next week against West Ham, but then we'll probably go and lose the next one. They have absolutely written us off for next week, mate. They believe it's a given that Man United are going to beat West Ham next week. They are totally just saying it's already the results in the bag. And I love the fact they're doing that, because they are going to get a big shock. We are a very different side to what we have been of late. We're a difficult side, and I don't think they're going to have it their own way. And Southampton proved, mate, that you can get at them. So it would be blinding to see Antonio back for that one, and I think he'll absolutely terrorise their defence, to be honest with you, mate.
I think you're right, and I think I'm right in saying they've only beaten us once in the last 5 games at West Ham. I'm sure they have. I don't think. I mean, we beat them last season at home, 2-0. Beat them the year before 3-1. Mate, it ain't a given. I'm sure it's 5 years. I think 5 games. They've only beaten us once, and I think it was the first season in the London Stadium they beat us. I think. I ain't sure. I would have to check that out, but I think it's only once they've beaten us in 5 years. They ain't what they were. You know, okay, they done well yesterday to come back and win. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. It's a great comeback against a good side, to be fair, Southampton. Why they switched off as they did, I don't know. They also done it against Spurs, if you remember, Southampton at home. Had a good lead at half-time and give that away. I think they was 2-0 up at half-time or 3-0 against Saints and ended up losing 5-2 or 5-3, whatever it was, didn't they? Yeah. And sorry, I just see someone wrote in there.
Yeah, no, there was a gentleman that was asking if he thought who would win, Aston Villa or West Ham. Normally, it's a draw. It's nearly always a draw. However, we all believe that West Ham will be winning this time.
Yeah, I think West Ham will win. I think West Ham will win tonight. 1-0. 1-0 or 2-1 is my prediction for tonight.
Yeah. Cavani, mate, when he come on, see Man United, what they've lacked, and actually what a lot of teams lack, mate, are a proper old-school striker, and they're a bit of a dying breed, which is a proper shame, because strikers like that, mate, that is what you need around your club. And, you know, Man United have got your Martials, your Rashfords, all overpaid from too young, very soft, typical modern day footballers, mate, really. Actually, typical modern day people in general of that generation, of that era, mate. Just people who have had life so easy, You know, just very, very soft around the edges, mate, and it's no good. And Cavani come on, and he's a beast, mate. That aggression, that attitude, that ruthlessness that someone like Cavani has got, mate. It was so good to see. I don't like Man United. Didn't want Man United to win the game, but just seeing Cavani's performance was superb, and the way he celebrated afterwards, mate. He just someone.
Robin Hood.
He's just sliding on his knees and just the attitude on his face, mate. He was just like, he is the man, and I love that. And it's a proper shame that you don't really see that much anymore. And I look at players like Rashford, mate, and I just think it's just typical modern day Premier League, typical modern day footballers, you know, overpaid from a youngster, got nothing about and wants to give a load of free meals to school kids. Mate, worry about what you're doing on the football pitch. You know, when you retire, then you can go and, you know, start being a missionary or whatever it is that you want to be. But at the moment, mate, just concentrate on your football, because your football club that's supposed to be one of the best football clubs in the world ain't doing it. So concentrate on your game, focus on doing what Cavani did, because, mate, he made you look bang average when he come on that pitch last night, and that was the business, mate. So yeah, I think all the time Ollie's allowing players like that, and obviously we heard some grumbles about Greenwood having some personal issues and everything else, which we won't go into the detail on, but you know, Greenwood's looking like he's going to turn out exactly the same way. Just like he just looks a shadow of what he did when he first started breaking into that Man United team. He looks like his head's completely gone.
Where's Jesse Lingard?
A shame. Well, apparently going to West Ham.
But that's the thing. There's another one, you know, another one who had the world at his feet like that and just faded away.
He's never been the same since we done his coach when they come to the last game at Upton Park. He still has nightmares every night. He can't get over that.
Dele Alli, you know, they're them sort of players. They go off the radar. And this is why it's going to sound biased, and I don't want it to sound biased. That's why you look at someone like Declan Rice, and that you don't hear of him doing anything outside the game like that. Nothing at all. He's not on social media giving everything about all he's done and everything he's done.
That was the point I wanted to make. People like Lingard, people like Rashford, they're more interested in being Instagram influencers than they are footballers, mate. All they're interested in is their flash clothes, flash cars, showing off. That's all they're interested in, mate. They ain't interested in grafting. They ain't interested in being on that training pitch 4 hours after the game, after the training session, and carry on working hard and try and improve. Mate, the Man United finishing yesterday from their players was awful. You know, I would, if that was me and my finishing had been that bad, the next training session I would stay for hours after the game and just say, fireballs into me, I want to work on my finishing. But they ain't got it in them, mate. They're just, I don't know, the attitude's all wrong.
And it's like you said, and again, using an example of someone who went to the very top, you know, look at Frank Lampard. There's a reason why Frank Lampard became as good as he did. Steven Gerrard, like you're saying, the extra bit of training, the extra practice, kept their nuts down, didn't get involved in all this social media stuff. I know it weren't as big then, but never got involved in that. John Terry as well, the same. Now, that's why these players didn't get injuries and all, because they're professional. Not real bad injuries all the time, as we see with a lot of people now. So, yeah, I do agree with you. Darren's in, he's a Chelsea fan. Just seen him in. I hope you're well, mate. Ken, okay, I remember it now, Faguli being sent off, yeah. I do get that. When was that? 2017? Was that the first year in there, wasn't it? Liam said he might be banned for the next game. Who might be banned? Who's he talking about? The only one who we've been talking about is either Fernandez or...
We got the Geordies in. They had a big
result. Man. What a result for them.
They had a big result. He's going to come and join us on Away Day Radio next Saturday, mate, because they've got, I think they've got Villa on the Friday night. So he's going to come and break that down for us. So hopefully, Jonathan, you've got a good win, back-to-back wins, and yeah, hopefully you're rocking and rolling again, mate, and we can really break down old Steve Bruce and whether he's
Get a statue built. Get a statue built of him outside. Oh, yes, Ben, good shout. Yeah, he done that. Didn't he share a racist comment on Instagram or saying Cavani after the game and he's in trouble for that? That's right, yeah, he did. James, you're quite right. Di Canio, he was the same. Exactly that, buddy. Exactly that. Did you watch that Chelsea-Tottenham game yesterday?
I did, mate. I did. It was...
typical Jose Mourinho.
Trophy Mourinho.
He ain't winning nothing, mate. He ain't winning nothing
for him now. He ain't a lot different to what David Moyes is doing at the moment, mate, and we can't moan about that. So, you know,
but that's why David Moyes won't win a trophy.
Organised.
This is the same Jose Mourinho who sits in the press and slags every team off that goes to their place, and they've parked the bus. Tottenham, mate, they are not good to watch at all. Good, not at all for me, especially in the big games. But that's what Mourinho does. He knows how to get a point out of them, or maybe nick a win. But they ain't winning nothing like that. Not for me.
What happened to Raul Jimenez? Do you know what happened to Raul Jimenez? What happened?
Yeah, he went in for a header with David Luiz earlier in the game from a corner, and Luiz has come through and properly clattered him, knocked him out cold. Yeah, stretched off straight to hospital.
Oh.
And he, I see they put a report out yesterday that he was okay and responding, which is good news. Fractured his skull. Oh, mate, I was watching the game without the fans, so just the commentary. You could hear that as the head's here, and you just see him at the deck, mate, gone out cold, and everyone was just like calling everyone on so quick. It was bad, and good player. I wish him
fair challenge though, or not?
Yeah, it was nothing. And in fairness to David Luiz, he cut his head open big. He was all bandaged up, and he looked quite devastated. A lot of the players did, in fairness. But it was
devastated, mate. If you're going for the ball and it's a fair challenge, then it's just one of them.
Yeah, but I don't think it is unlucky. But I think he was like devastated to see the outcome of what had happened through a fair challenge. There's nothing bad in it, but they properly. You got to watch it, mate. You might not. It'd be hard to find. I would have thought now, but there was a proper clout.
All happening. What other games were there at the weekend, mate? There was another boring game, wasn't there?
They're all boring when West Ham ain't involved. They're all boring. I have no interest in any of them.
No. Did you watch any of the boxing, mate?
No, I didn't actually. I'm not live. I watched the Daniel Dubois fight yesterday morning.
Yeah. I watched that one live, mate. I was surprised. Dubois, I thought, had a bit more about him than that. He was just outdone by a jab, and it's a good jab, but it's not something that I didn't think he would have been able to overcome. I really thought that he would be able to have a bit more head movement and slip that jab a little bit more and stick it on Joyce, but it never materialised, mate. He got jabbed to bits, and Joyce basically won the fight just with a jab.
That extra 2-inch reach he had just played wonders for him, didn't it? Just kept him away at arm's reach. That jab closed the eye up.
Yeah, and then we had the old Tyson Jones draw, which was
I didn't see it. That was an exhibition fight, wasn't it?
Exhibition, but they made out it was going to be a proper fight, mate. But exhibition fight, they've gone through the motions there. They ain't got a mark on them afterwards, and you've got Tyson apparently was set to make about $7.2 million, and Roy Jones $2.2 million. Fix it to a draw so they can do it all over again. In the end, Tyson's going to have had about 14 out of it, and Jones is going to have had about 5 million out of it. It's unbelievable, really.
Fair play to him if you can do it. Cheers, Dal. That's one thing I don't think you'll ever see me do again in my life. I don't know how I got through them 6 minutes, whatever it was, 8 minutes.
I think we should do the biggest fan football channel boxing charity event. And all of the people should, come on, get up there.
I'll just be UMC for now. I'm not doing it again. I've done it once. I couldn't do it that time, but I had to go.
All right, and you against one of them Arsenal fan TV lot would be entertaining.
Do you know, I properly enjoyed the training, like working on the bags and the pads and that, and felt like it was saying I wouldn't mind doing. But as soon as I'd done the fight that night, it weren't even a fight, just walking around the ring, just doing that the whole time. As soon as for me, there's nothing in me at all that wanted to do it. But just want to quickly touch upon that. You just mentioned about Arsenal fan TV, and they lost one of their guy who takes part in it last week, passed away. Heavy D, good guy, Colin. I met Colin a lot of times, spoke to him quite a bit on social media. Not a lot of people liked him because of the way he was. But he had a goal. He had a heart heart, and unfortunately, as I say, he passed away last week. And God bless you,
No
mate.
one knows what happened yet, do they?
Heart failure.
Was it?
I only spoke to him the end of October. I was talking to him the day after he had finished his filming for the new Rise of the Foot Soldier film. Speaking to him, and didn't seem nothing wrong, but I've seen he went into isolation on his own for, they saying, 2 weeks up till he passed away, and he had heart failure. But sad. He's
Really sad,
a nice guy.
Really sad.
But talking of Arsenal, I love seeing happening there. What's happening? There's one football club I actually can't stand now.
Mate,
I can't stand them.
To go as bad as they have is it's just unbelievable, really, mate. Just
but they've got a fraudulent manager.
Yeah, but mate, they believed he was the Messiah for a few weeks when they was getting some results. They thought like he was, the main man, like he was this Pep Guardiola Mark II, younger, better version that was going to take the world by storm and turn him into an unbelievable force.
I think he is, but I think he's doing it with an absolute toilet side. You're trying to
Mikel Arteta, the Spanish Tony Pulis. I like that.
They're trying to be saying they ain't, and I made this comment weeks ago with them trying to play out the back. They have about 11 passes and end up giving away a corner. They just don't get anywhere, but they continuously do it, and that's because that's what he's seen under Pep. It's different when you've got the best players in the world. You can get away with doing it. And the one time it goes wrong, it ain't noticed because the 10 times work. Arsenal get it wrong 10 times and maybe get one right, the 11th.
Someone will tell me whether I'm wrong here, though, mate, but I've been watching the show of their owner on All or Nothing on Amazon with I can't remember the name of their team now, mate, but the Los Angeles, whatever they are, Stan Kroenke's team. And I think the difference is, mate, with that project, he's there constantly. Like, he is around that club. He's turned them into the most valuable sporting franchise in the world. Los Angeles Rams. Thank you, Andy. However, they don't win nothing still. So the club's worth a fortune, but they still don't achieve nothing. And he's there every day. He's ploughing the money and he's trying to get the people in, trying to get the personal win right. He's trying to do the business there. How can you be that successful in terms of money and not achieve anything? And, mate, to be honest, it's quite similar at Arsenal, mate. Is their ambition to win trophies and to have the best team possible, or is their ambition to have a really valuable football team? And I think money is the driving force, not success, and that's a shame. And you see him around his project over there, and mate, it's impressive. It is really impressive. But Arsenal is like his Poundland version of the Los Angeles Rams. Like, when I go to you look at their stadium, the Los Angeles Rams, and you look at their training ground, mate, I've never seen facilities like it. It is, if you think Leicester City's things and Man City's, if you think that's good facilities, mate, go and have a look at Los Angeles Rams facilities. You have never seen anything like it. It is phenomenal. Arsenal, a stadium built with breeze blocks. I hate that stadium. I think it's a pony stadium. That ain't me digging them out. I just think it's awful. I think the facilities in it are terrible. You can't get to the toilet. You can't get to food. It is an absolute dump. And it's clearly just something. It's just a byproduct for him, mate. He clearly has his main focus, and Arsenal's just something he's playing with. And if you've got a manager that's just playing with something and not really that interested, mate, then you can't expect it to go to the heights that it could do. Arsenal needs someone who actually cares about that football club and wants to do something with them, because I'm afraid at the moment their owner ain't interested, mate.
Yeah, I think I don't make you wrong with what you said there, but look, my dislike for Arsenal comes from when I've been collecting for a little while, and they was the only club to ever outright refuse us and do nothing about it. And I mean nothing. And refused us twice. Was threatened to arrest me when I was on the concourse the first year if I bought a bucket out on the show because I had my coat on. Because I'd already called them and been. I didn't have a bucket with me. But yeah, I got no like for them, and I love seeing it. And again, not personally, but watching things like, or watching some clips. I don't watch it at all. I need the clips to come up. Sorry, like Arsenal Fan TV, and listening to how these people speak about like the manager and players there, and how fickle they are. You know, Emery was the best thing since sliced bread. Then he was the biggest fraud. The way they treated their most successful ever manager in their history, you know, I think is disgusting. Yeah, I think he did come to an end at Arsenal, 100%. I think Wenger did, but I don't think that was him. I think that was football. I think football changed, and I say the same with Jose Mourinho. So I don't think Jose Mourinho will win a major trophy, because I think sooner or later he won't be able to adapt, and I think I think Tottenham will fade out this year. And it ain't just because it's Tottenham. I think they'll fade out. And Kieran's just put it. Sometimes you've got to be careful what you wish for, and yeah. You know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I want Golden Sullivan to start West Ham. I'm not, but I would sometimes rather keep them and see other things that happen. I would. That won't ever make me want them to stay forever. The sooner they're out of the club, the better. I ain't convinced I want to see West Ham just sold to a Man City owner or a Chelsea owner either, because that's not the West Ham that I ever grew up supporting. I personally couldn't think of anything better if we lived in a dream world of West Ham owners being a group of fans that got together and had fortunes and could keep the club surviving. Now, I don't support West Ham for success. I don't support West Ham, so I want us to compete to get in the top four. Now, if West Ham finished 15th every season, with owners who was black and white, spoke to the fans, treated the fans like fans, gave the fans the respect they have for what their investment into the football club is too, because as fans now, I don't think we get anything back for our investment, then I'd be delighted. That's well enough for me. I don't want miracles, you know what I mean? I've never wanted that. If that was the case as a kid, my old man would have let me support Man United. You know, and now I'd be having the hard times as Man United fans are. So sometimes you do have to be careful what you wish for, and I just love seeing it failing at Arsenal. I don't for Arteta. I don't at all. You know what? I don't wish him bad personally, and I do think he could be a good manager. I just think he's working at Arsenal like he's managing Man City with the same squad, and he's well off there. And what I can't work out is how you can have someone like Lacazette on the bench, and when you play him, you're playing him in a false role because you're playing him as the lone forward, and Aubameyang out on one of the wings. Play them both together up top. You're going to get goals. You do that, I guarantee you Arsenal would start winning football matches, because they'd be lethal for any defence.
Did you see the post that I put in the WhatsApp group? And the WhatsApp group's getting better and better, by the way, mate. I'm loving it. It's good banter, it's good. And you know, it's not just for match days. There's every football meme that comes out gets in that group, and we have a laugh in there, mate, which is really good.
We get you giving our predictions. Hang on, we also get you giving your predictions as well with about 15 minutes to go, or half time.
You do, and they're pretty good. The Ukrainian team who had a new manager who decided he wanted to take the club into an Olympic stadium and move them out of their home ground, and the supporters marched in there, grabbed him, took him out, and then That's what we should have done to David Sullivan. It wouldn't have taken much to pick him up. You could have picked him up, could have pinched him like that and picked him up and walked him out of the ground. That's what we should have done. You could have put
him in a large McDonald's Coke cup. You wouldn't have needed a bin.
You could have done, mate. And walked. That's it. That's what you could have done.
Or one of the popcorn holders out. One of the popcorn holders out the ground.
That's it, mate. It wouldn't have taken much. That's exactly what we should have done. But there you go.
We can't get that close though at our new ground though. We're blocked in, mate. We're not allowed in there. They've got all security now.
Yeah, fans going back, mate. Is that well? Could they be back for tonight's game or not?
No, I think it's Manchester United the first game. I've got to be honest. I don't know a lot about it because obviously I don't get contact. I'm not season ticket holder now. It's only you gets the emails. We ain't forgotten the special one. I don't know how it's working, so I might be mugging myself off here. But what I can't understand is my opinion, and I could be totally wrong because I say I just don't know. Is only people in the same tier can attend the game. So you'd be out because you're in tier 3. So you can't get in the ballot.
Of course, I'd just go and rent a little gaff around Stratford. That's all I'd do.
This is what they're saying, right? So That I sort of understand. I do and I don't. So those who can't attend will obviously get a refund. I can't imagine, because it's good. I'm guessing as well, because it's only 2,000. I'm guessing it's going to be one area. They're not going to spread 2,000 out around the whole stadium. It's going to be one area. I cannot begin to imagine that area will be in or around the dugouts, for the reason you can't get that close to the players because of the testing. The players, the subs, use the stands around the dugout still because of their social distancing. So let's just say, for argument's sake, that area that you have to sit in will be the Billy Bond stand opposite. There you go. Andy's just put it, the Billy Bond stand, right? So I don't know the price of this. I could be totally wrong. A season ticket in the Billy Bond stand is £600, for argument's sake. You're a season ticket holder who sits in the padded seats around the dugout and pay £2,500 a season. You get picked out the ballot along with matey who's got one in the back row of the Trevor Brooking upper tier and has paid 99 quid or 200 quid for his ticket. What happens there? You're both sitting in a £600 seat. Does the geezer who's only paid 9 or 200 quid for the year have to pay the difference? And the fella who's paid £250 a game gets his £200 back? I don't know how it works.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I'm baffled by it all. I don't know how it's going to work.
Mate, going now, I don't think they'll serve beer because I don't think they'll want people congregating around where the stands are and that. So I don't think they'll be serving any beer.
They can't, can they? Because they can't. There's no substantial milk, so they can't sell beer.
Yeah, well, you could if you had the food being served as well, but I don't think they'll do that. So you've literally got to march in, sit down a million miles away from anyone, get up and walk back out again. Mate, for me, that ain't football. No. There'll be some people who argue, oh, it's all about the football. You should be there to watch the football, mate. I don't go to football to watch the football. If I wanted to do that, I'd go to my local team and just sit and watch that. I go for the atmosphere. I go for the people. I go for the crack. I go for the whole lot of it. And for me, mate, it ain't football. You even if someone turned around to me tomorrow and said, look, there's a ticket for Man United. Don't cost you anything. Off you go, mate. I wouldn't bother.
No?
Nah. No,
and mate, I'm not saying you're wrong. You know, again going back to Away Day Radio Saturday, we spoke to Pat, who's the Brockenhurst manager, first team manager, and he said, you know, we've got the green light down at Brockenhurst to start playing again. However, we can't open the clubhouse because we don't sell substantial food. They've got a burger bar, but it's not enough. So with that in mind, the questions the FA are asking the clubs, can you survive on match days with just gate receipts? You know, Brockenhurst probably have 200 people attend. That includes season ticket holders, you know, and obviously guests that are there, sponsors, etc. So that's not all. That's not 200 people times £6 a head. They've got bills that they have people to pay on match days. They have a fee to put the floodlights on. They have a fee for the changing rooms when they turn the electric on, the water. The club probably wouldn't survive on just gate receipts. So with the Premier League, you know, 2,000 people, what difference is it going to matter? I can't grasp it, mate. I can't grasp how you can have 2,000 people in the London Stadium, but you could have 300 people at Brockenhurst.
Yeah.
If that clubhouse sold food. What's the difference? You know, the London Stadium's huge. Why can you not have 2,000 people in every stand? I can't work out how they've done this. My head ain't got round any of this. But again, like you've just said, would I want to go West Ham and stick a mask over me gob to sing on Forever Blowing Bubbles? No. I'd rather stand up in my front room and sing it.
Yeah, mate, I'm with you. That's probably a good place to round it up, mate. So obviously we've got Away Day Radio. So if you haven't already downloaded the app on Android or gone onto their website and had a listen to some of the music on there, it's definitely worth it. Proper old school West Ham on there, but some other football teams as well, and some really good music. So yeah, if you haven't already had a look at Away Day Radio, then go and check it out. And we're going to be doing loads on Stream Stadium this week, mate. Loads on Stream Stadium. So have a look for us on YouTube on there. We will tweet it out when we're going live and so on. And there'll be loads and loads of content coming out this week. There'll be morning news updates, there'll be game previews, there'll be all sorts of stuff on there. And then we've also got on there on Friday, we've got a guy from Man United coming on, one of their big fan channels, and we're going to do a preview of the game on there as well. So that'll be good to talk it through with him and see if he's as confident as everyone else is that the game's already won. So that'll be an interesting conversation.
Indeed.
Kieran, you can get it there, mate, because it's via the internet. So it's not like a radio signal. It is over online. So if you go to awaydayradio.co.uk, go on to listen, you'll be able to do it there, mate, or download the apps, whatever you want to do. They've also got a great Facebook page with stuff on there. Their website's really good. There's loads of content on there, loads of different things that go on the website, and they do some really good competitions and that as well. So yeah, get involved.
And also on Saturday when we're on 12 till 2, if anyone's got any requests for songs, let us know. And again, if you want to call up and give us your views on the West Ham game, on anything football, make sure you do. It will all be announced this week on how to call up and get your requests into us on air or on Stream Stadium ahead of Saturday's show.
Perfect, mate. Well,
thank you all for joining.
Let's enjoy tonight. Depending on how it goes, we might jump on and do a quick little thing afterwards. If I'm not jumping around the garden again like we did when it was Spurs, but we'll wait.
Just quickly, Frankie, what's your prediction tonight?
To be honest, I think my head says a draw 1-1, and Kieran's just gone the same. But if we're gonna nick it, it's 1-0 or 2-1. I can't see it any other way, and everyone's saying exactly the same. Yeah,
I've said it. I've said the same. 1-0, 2-1. Yeah, 2-1 West Ham or 1-0. Yeah. No, 2-1, 1-1 or 2-1 West Ham. That's my belief too. Yes, Ken. Just want to quickly say this: 32 years ago today, West Ham Liverpool 4-1. My all-time favourite hammer scored, Tony Gale. Great free kick. Probably, or in fact, it will be my best memory of the 80s, apart from being mascot in '89. But that night was special at Upton Park in '88. In the old, I think it was a Littlewoods Cup, wasn't it? I'm sure it was a Littlewoods Cup, or Rumble Over, whatever it's called. Then no, Littlewoods Cup. I'm convinced it was a Littlewoods. 4-1. Steve Staunton had her own goal. I think John Aldridge scored for them as well. Anyway, enough of us. Come on, you wines. Big win tonight.
I'm forever blowing bubbles, pretty bubbles in